Good morning. Welcome to First Universalist Society in Franklin. I'm Mary Dennis. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm chair of the worship committee. Summer lay-led worship services come to a close a week ago. And today we start anew with our regular church calendar year. Rev Bev is back in the pulpit. Sarah Allegretti and the youth and religious education begins again. And Michelle Kelly, our music director, is here with the choir. But if you were here over the summer, we thank you for attending and supporting our volunteer lay leaders. If you were a volunteer lay leader, thank you, thank you, thank you. And to the worship team, we couldn't have done it without you. So thank you. If you are visiting with us for the first time, please take a moment to sign our guest book in the foyer or our virtual guest book online. And all are invited to join together in coffee, enjoying coffee and tea in the Fellowship Cafe for delicious treats and coffee and tea. And if you would like a quieter place to socialize, there is a quiet room down the hall in the religious wing. Just ask somebody and they can point you in the right direction. So welcome to you, old friends and new, in-person and virtual, young and old. You are an essential part of our gathering today. Whether today is your first or your 1000th Sunday in our midst, we are stronger because you are with us. We are one people of many beliefs, many origins, sexualities, and genders. We are all growing, all learning, all loved. Just as you are welcome here. Each Sunday morning, we share a centering ritual with Unitarian Universalists around the world, the lighting of a chalice. As Kai helps light our chalice this morning, where is Kai? Here comes Kai. Please hear these words adapted from Seth Carrier Ladd. Wind that whispers through the trees, sun that sustains us, water that washes over willing earth and weathered stones, a smile shared and savored, the quiet joy of gathered community. This is the spirit of life and love that we call forth now into this gathering. May the Spirit infuse our hearts, fill our souls, and carry us forward like a wave on the ocean as we enter now into this sacred time and space. Come, let us worship together. Please remain seated and join me in singing the unison affirmation, which can be found right inside the front cover of the gray hymnal.
Good morning. I'm Rev Bev, minister here at FUSF. My pronouns are she, her, and I am so glad to see so many familiar faces and quite a few not as familiar faces here this morning. And I know there's a lot of folks on Zoom, even though I don't see your faces right now. This is a special service this morning because we celebrate coming together. Some of us for the very first time, some of us for the first time since the end of June, or maybe sometime over the summer you came once or twice, or maybe you haven't been here for a couple of years and you're back, and we are delighted. As is the custom in many Unitarian Universalist congregations on this first service of the fall, we celebrate this ingathering with a ritual of mingling water into a common bowl. This is when I start to hear people mumbling, "Oh, I forgot my water." Don't worry, we have extra. We'll make more. I welcome your grace with us this morning, as there are a lot of moving parts, and not all of our technology is working correctly for us. So your grace is welcome this morning. My call to worship is adapted from the words of the Reverend Gregory Pelly. It's called Thirsty. And so we gather from the ebb and flow of our lives, thirsty for connection to ourselves, thirsty for connection to others, thirsty for connection to a larger life. May all who gather here be filled with joy and hope, filled with compassion and love. And once filled, may we pour ourselves out into the world, knowing we can return to the well of this community time and time again. Our opening hymn this morning is number 361 in the gray hymnal, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. I'm wondering if there's anybody from Chalice Camp this summer who learned this song and performed it at the talent show, if you'd like to come up here and join me up here and show the congregation your talent with this song, I would be ever so grateful. And I invite all of you to rise as you are able for Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. Come on up. Spread out over here. Come on. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Don't be afraid of some change. Don't be afraid of some change. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in.
Should I try? Oh, hello. Now can you hear me? Okay. Well, we already said good morning. My name is Sarah Allegretti. My pronouns are she, her, and I am the Director of Religious Ed here at FUSF. Today, we are going to read a book. It's called Bear Came Along, and the author is it's actually not on the cover, Richard T. Morris. But instead of just reading the book, I'm going to need some friends to help me act out the book, okay? So if you would like to help, it would be really helpful if I had some friends lined up in these seats here, okay? So come on to those seats while I set up this. And I wonder if anyone can guess what this might be. How did it go? Oh, this way. Whoop. All right. It's like an ocean or something. A river. Awesome. So I'm going to place this part here, like this. And can I have a grown-up volunteer to hold the river? Thanks, Rand. Our lifelong you. All right, thank you. So you're the river, and then I have a friend who's going to be my log. Thank you. The log is starting right here. Okay, and then I have a couple more friends. These are the fun friends. Okay, so the helpers that are going to be the animals, I have you sitting up front, thank you. And you're going to hold your animal in your lap. And when you hear me say your animal's name, so I'll say like, bear came along. Then you're going to bring your bear or whatever animal it is and kind of stand near Caitlin and put it as close to the log as you can. There's going to be a big crowd, so we might have to have some near the log, okay? But we'll pretend they're all on the log, okay? All right, so bear, froggy, turtles. You got a bonus turtle. We've got beaver and raccoons. And are you two in the line, Claire? Duck. All right. Are we ready? I'll get out of the way. Bear Came Along by Rich T. Morris. Once there was a river that flowed night and day, but it didn't know it was a river until Bear came along. Bear was being curious when he realized what the river could do. But he didn't know he was on an adventure until Froggy hopped on. Hop, hop, Froggy. So now Bear knows he's on an adventure. Froggy was a lonely frog who was looking for a friend. But she didn't know how many she had until the turtles and cat showed up. There was a cat friend that came. I didn't know the cat was going to be here, but the cat is here. The turtles and cat tried to warn them about the things that could go wrong. But they didn't know how to enjoy the ride until Beaver climbed aboard. Beaver was born to captain. They knew exactly where to go, but they didn't know about the detours until, right, and they can continue flowing down the river a little bit. Yeah, go ahead, flow down the river. Raccoons dropped in. These raccoons were so excited about the twists and the turns ahead. But they didn't know they had to be careful until they crashed into Duck. Whoa! Don't worry, Duck's okay. Yeah, have you come around the back of the table? There you go. Duck was so content being right where she was, but she didn't know there was a world to see until, Bear held on to Froggy. Froggy held on to Turtles. Turtles held on to Beaver. Beaver held on to Raccoons. Raccoons held on to Duck. And the cat. The cat was there too. Oh, what a ride. Thank you. You can drop the animals and go back to your seats. Thank you so much, friends. Oh, what a ride. So many different animals living their separate lives, but they didn't know they were in it together until the river came along.
I invite you into a time of meditation. The water ritual that we will experience today demonstrates how all water is connected, just as all things are connected by the Spirit of life. I want you to look at the water that you brought with you, if you did remember it. Those water molecules never stop existing. They just get recycled over and over. So water molecules from the local faucet in your kitchen could have once been in the Amazon River or in a New England river, maybe even in our own river that seems to have dried up. It could have been in the blood of a bear or in the saliva of a beaver or in a local swimming pool or in snow on top of the Rocky Mountains. Now, if you are comfortable doing so, I invite you to close your eyes and think about your own experience with water, your personal water stories. Maybe this summer you swam in a pool or a pond. Maybe you went rafting or water skiing. Maybe you actually have a pool in your yard or a fishbowl in your house. Think about how you feel about being out in the rain, about thunderstorms, or watching ocean waves crashing on the shore. Grab onto a memory and think about it and how you felt at the time and feel now about water. I now invite you back into this room and out of the water. I hope the memory that you grabbed onto was a pleasant one. And I hope that you remember today and always how we are all connected by water, by the Spirit of life, and by love. Amen, and blessed be. So much has happened since many of us gathered in this space and on Zoom for this Ingathering service a year ago. A lot of it really, really good. And some of it, well, not so much. And I'm talking about happenings here at FUSF. And I'm talking about happenings in our country and in our world and everywhere in between. We've gained momentum. We've hit some really important milestones. We have said goodbye to beloved congregation and family members. And we've lost human rights we never imagined were in danger. We have worked and had fun and protested and stood out together. We have dreamed and envisioned and succeeded and left some things unfinished, knowing tomorrow is another day. Beginning again can feel easy or hard, and there are a lot of reasons for that. My being here with you again this year, now as your contract minister for one more year, feels easy for me on many levels. And I am not the same person who stood up here last year and announced on more than one occasion that this was my last year with you. My late spring and summer of taking care of my health issues have changed me. Yet here we are, beginning again. All of us wanting the best for our beloved community. All of us willing to reach deep, giving what we can of ourselves, knowing we don't have to do it alone. We are not on this journey by ourselves. All of us bringing our best selves and good intention into all that we do here. Now, I wish I could promise you that as we begin again that everything's going to go as planned. I can already tell you this morning is not. I wish I could assure you that we have nothing but dreams realized and goals reached to look forward to. And I wish you could assure me of those things too. What I do know, the knowledge that I do have, is that we are all in this together, and together we are stronger and smarter and more capable. So we begin again in this beloved community, knowing there is work to be done and not afraid to step up, to speak out, and to do that work. May it be so.
Good morning. My name is Kathy Hewlin, and my pronouns are she, her. On your way onto the property this morning, did you notice a few new things? Did you see the bright yellow lines in the parking lot? The pressure is on. Stay within the lines. This is not something that you tend to like. You probably also noticed a banner on the lawn. Hope lives here. When I drive past that sign, I find I breathe a little bit easier. I think that's right. Hope does live here. But what does that mean exactly? Hope lives here is a message of resilience and comfort and community. It suggests that even during difficult or uncertain times, people can find the strength, support, and the promise of a better future. Let's give and receive this morning's offering with intention. Think about what it is we each hope for ourselves, for our families, for our extended families, for this church, for the larger community, and even for the world. Let's think big. How can our generosity help to keep hope alive? You can contribute this morning by placing your donation in the plate, by visiting the website and clicking on Give, or by sending a check to the church post office box. Thank you on behalf of the stewardship team for your generosity.
One of the things I really love about this ritual is the history of it. Now, I spoke about this at length early in my ministry here, so this year I'm just going to remind us a little bit about the original water gathering ritual. It began as part of a worship service designed for the Unitarian Universalist Women and Religion Continental Convocation held in 1980. Here is one description of the theme and that service. Making our way like rivers from places distant and near, we come together to give shape to a new spirituality. We come together to question, to hear, to share, to speak, to inspire, and to celebrate through new rituals, knowing that our energy and our love are transforming. Celebrating our connectedness, we choose water as our symbol of our empowerment. And that description speaks volumes about the other aspect I love and appreciate about this shared ritual. It is that reminder that we are all connected. It's a reminder that we need one another, and we need all that each of us brings into community. The water that is already in the bowl is a combination of water left from this ritual last year that also includes water that I brought with me that first year we did this together. Water from all of the congregations I have served, going back to my first interim ministry in Glens Falls, New York. Now, as you bring your water forward and pour it into the bowl, I invite you to do so with intention. Do so while imagining that you are pouring your unique gifts, your skills and abilities, your commitments that you are willing to share with FUSF this year. Now, in order to create some illusion of order, I'm going to invite you to come up in sections, starting with the group that is sitting to my, whatever side this is, my right, near the art wall and the piano, and then we'll move across the sanctuary. If you did not bring water this morning, there is a pitcher on the table that you could pour from. And as people share the water by putting it in the bowl, we will enjoy again, as always, we will enjoy the gift of music from Michelle. So let's start with this group here to please come forward. Like this water, we come from distant places, places half the world away, places half a mile away. We come from distant places, from the center of a loving family, from families scarred by tension and distance. We come from distant places, from work that involves our hearts and hands, from the quiet of mornings with only a hot cup of coffee, the morning paper, and nothing but time stretched out before us. We come from distant places, from dreams discovered and lived, from dreams that have been lost, from joys beyond words, and pain almost beyond bearing. From our many places, we come here to join with one another. Each week, we come traveling our distances to touch again the sources of community. To touch that which, like the water that we have brought, joins us together in one common humanity. In the quiet of this time together, may we pause to know the distance we have each come in seeking the companionship of this hour. Here we are, in this familiar place, seeking friendly faces, seeking and offering similar gifts, moments of quiet reflection, the touch of the power that lives within and between us, a glimpse of peace and a gentle breath of kindness. Let us share in a moment of silence together as we are reminded of our responsibility, all of us, for the planet Earth and all the creatures that inhabit it, including the human creatures. And by our presence and our witness and our good intentions, may this water be blessed. Amen, and blessed be. All right, this is where the grace comes in. Our final hymn is going to be projected on one screen because screen number 2 has decided to take a break. It does not. And it's going to have to go in the middle. So those of you on the far edges may want to adjust your location so that you can see the screen, because this final hymn, which is called "This Boat," is from the new virtual hymnal that was recently released by the Unitarian Universalist Association. Now, the choir has rehearsed it. That's okay, I only have a little more to say. The choir has rehearsed it and will remain among you to help you learn it, because the slides we are showing, I believe this is true, only show you the words and not the music. Again, grace, please. So, I guess you should rise as you are able, right? Or is that going to make it hard to see? All right. Do whatever makes sense. This is not the time to stay in the lines. It would block the screen, so you need to remain seated unless you're in the very back and on the side. All right. Did I mention grace? In the words of Wayne Arneson, take courage, friends. The way is often hard, the path is never clear, and the stakes are very high. Take courage, for deep down there is another truth. You are not alone. Please rise for our farewell song. The words are in the order of service if you grabbed one. They are "Carry the Flame of Peace and Love Until We Meet Again." We extinguish the flame in our chalice, but not what it represents. The light of truth, the warmth of community, and the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and share them out in the world. Our worship has ended. Our service to a world that needs our care and our healing and our love continues on. Good friends, old and new, go with love and go surrounded by peace.